A few days back, I was working in a co-owned space and overheard a friend of mine, who's also a budding entrepreneur, firing one of his teammates. I initially felt super sorry for the guy being fired, but the more I heard their conversation, the more it made sense. No, the man being fired had not done something overly wrong. In fact, he was spending most of his time doing something for the company. However, whatever he did not really align with the current needs of the company. And as their conversation kept on proceeding, this guy kept on justifying what he's doing and why he's doing that. And at one point, all the justification just started sounding as excuses. I was shook because deep down, I could hear myself in him. My thoughts were like, am I a lazy woman? Do I take my opportunities for granted? Do I just keep giving excuses for not performing my best? Am I worthy? Do I really deserve to be successful? I'm actually getting goosebumps right now. If you're anyone who has ever said that you'd start something on Monday only for Monday to arrive and suddenly Tuesday feels like a better day to start, or you set a goal, feel super motivated, and then 2 weeks later that goal is collecting dust next to your treadmill turned clothes hanger. Yeah, we've all been there. But hey, today's podcast is for people like us. Welcome back to Executive's Diary, the podcast where we go beyond the corner office and talk about the real life skills that lead to success. You see, most people, including me, we don't fail because of a lack of ambition. We fail because of a lack of accountability. In this podcast, we will be breaking down into 3 parts. First, why motivation is a scam and why you should never rely on it. The second, the secret sauce that actually forces you to follow through even on the days you don't feel like. And the power of a community to help you stay accountable. Because let's face it, we all need a little backup. So let's get started. But before we begin, have you ever noticed that it's so easy to let yourself down, but nearly impossible or super difficult to let someone else down? If you decided to wake up, for example, at 6 a.m., but no one knows about it, you hit snooze. But if you promised a friend you meet them at the gym at 6 a.m., you get up no matter what. Why? Because when you're the only one who knows the goal, there's no real consequences for failing. Think about it. If you skip workout, if you skip your work, your boss notices. If you miss a deadline, your team suffers. But if you break a promise to yourself, nothing. And that is why accountability changes everything. There are 2 kinds of accountability, and we both sort of need both of them. One is self-accountability, when we hold ourselves accountable. It sounds great in theory. We say we'll start eating healthy, but Friday night pizza exists. We say we'll read every night before we go to bed, but Netflix seems more tempting. We say we'll wake up early, but our bed just seems warm. Basically, our human brains are wired for seeking comfort, and it's just too good at making excuses when no one is watching. Whereas external accountability is when someone else holds you accountable. We hate to disappoint other people, you see. Also, public commitment makes it harder to back out. When someone checks in on you, you are way more likely to follow through. Think about it. Personal trainers exist because people won't go to gym alone. Coaches exist because we need structure and accountability. CEOs too have board of directors because even top leaders need to answer to someone. So if you're being relying only on yourself to stay disciplined, it's time to get some backup. And as usual, I did some of my own research and I have come up with 4 methods or tips to start up this accountability journey. By the way, this is going to be super quick, so be ready to absorb as much information as you can. Number 1, set uncomfortable accountability. You see, most people set soft accountability. For example, I'll try to work out 3 times in a week versus I will text my friend every morning after I complete my workout. If I don't, I owe them 10 euros. Yeah, we need real consequences. If money motivates you, bet on yourself. Example, if you don't complete your goal, donate 50 euros or something to a cause. If public pressure motivates you, announce your goal on social media. Now, backing out would mean public embarrassment. Basically, make it more painful to fail than to follow through. The second method is to get an accountability partner or a group. Here's the deal. Trying to stay accountable alone is hard. That is why group studies sometimes work more efficiently. That is why there are institutes like the 42 that rely more on peer learning. So I've created a Discord community for you all where we all can hold each other accountable. Whether you're a founder, corporate worker, or a creator, or someone just trying to hit a personal goal. Because let's be honest, accountability is easier when you have people cheering you on or calling you out when you slack. Inside, we'll have daily check-ins to keep you on track. We'll have goal-setting challenges, a support system of like-minded people who actually get it. I mean, what's better than chasing your goals with a squad? I will share the invite link in the description, so come join us. Okay, the third point. Track your progress so that you can't ignore it. You ever write goals in your journal and then just forget about it? Yeah, same. But if you're serious, make your progress visible. Daily checklists mark off every time you complete a task. You can also do something like progress charts. Seeing improvements over time keeps you motivated, and of course, my favorite, journaling. Writing things down makes goals feel more real. If your progress isn't your face every day, it is too easy to ignore it. The last and the fourth pointer, set checkpoints and rewards. Here's a mistake that most people make. They only focus on the big goals. They don't celebrate small wins along the way. That's like trying to climb a mountain but refusing to stop and enjoy the view at every checkpoint. Create your milestones, and whenever you hit them, treat yourself to something small. Flowers or a good plate of sushi are my go-to purchases. You stuck to a habit to 30 days? Buy yourself something meaningful. You made a major breakthrough? Take a day off to celebrate. In Urdu, there's a beautiful saying, Safar khubsurat hai manzil se bhi. The journey is just as important and beautiful as the result. And with that, we come to the end of this episode. Your goals don't care about your excuses, and neither will your future self. So here's the deal. If you're not where you want to be, ask yourself, who's holding me accountable? If the answer is no one, then change that today. You can join our Discord community, link will be shared below, or tell a friend about your goal. Make failing as painful as possible, because ambition means nothing without action. Success does not come to those who plan, It comes to those who show up every day. This was the Executive's Diary. This was your host, Sarah Kamal. Until next time, stay accountable, stay consistent, and keep pushing forward. Bye.